I kind of like going over the origin just by going over Marvel.com, for example. Drax the Destroyer, let's talk about how strong he is. Look at his power grid, by the way, strength of 5. He has got some changes over the years. In his biography, they stated he was created by the Titan guy known as Kronos to kill Thanos. Yes, he was destined to kill actual Thanos, by the way, for those that didn't know about that in the movies. Drax spent most of his existence either trying to do exactly that, like aka killing Thanos, or dealing with the fact that others killed his target first, which he didn't like. After going through a metamorphosis, Drax helped the universe survive the Annihilation Wave and Ultron's attack on Kree space. Having done good, made some important allies. He joined the likes of Star-Lord, Gamora, Rocky Raccoon, Groot, others in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Became popular in live action. A ragtag group that preserves no matter what the cosmos throws at it thanks to their unique abilities and their strong bonds with one another. You know the funny part is that the cosmic powerhouse known as Drax, the Destroyer, actually began life on Earth as a simple man named Arthur Douglas. His wife and their daughter Heather happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time while flying over his first earthbound scouting mission. Thanos became worried that the people inside a car saw him and destroyed the vehicle with Arthur's family inside. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Meanwhile, Arthur's soul floated out into space. Yes, his life began on Earth, where Kronos captured it and infused it with the body he created to stop Thanos. Since then, Drax has gone through a variety of changes, but always focuses his intense power on the killing of Thanos. And that's where you know of the classic Drax, where you can fly, shoot energy projection and stuff, but he did go through some changes, which is why people differentiate between the two. Heck, even in the current stuff, he uses guns from time to time. But before I go any farther, thank you all that have donated to the channel. Appreciate it a lot. He's got a decent amount of strength feats, but let's get into it. He's godlike, so of course he can shatter skyscrapers with his punching power. Just give you an idea of how hard he can punch. Captain Marvel's with him and stuff. He has a consistent base of destroying like large planetoid type things, meteor type stuff. States here Thanos. He can punch the heck out of characters like Captain Marvel, for example, powerhouse tier of Marvel, proving that he can fight people in a battlefield on his level of their ability and strength in general. Even almost beats him to near unconsciousness in a way of raw power, slings him around. Planet busting in Marvel is no big deal. Drax has indeed planet busted and rips out the core of a star. It even states here, and dives for a small glowing sun. Into his heart he plunges to rip out its fierce flaming core. Yeah, that much power. Classic Drax was a beast. I mean, he did this to She-Hulk's spinal column. The guy even held Silver Surfer's board in place, and you already know how powerful Silver Surfer is. In one of his many battles with Thanos in this occasion, their fight then destroyed the entire planet they was on. Him and Thanos destroyed planets as collateral. I wish more fights between powerhouses would show this type of collateral, but most of the fights that we see are on Earth. They can't have this happen every comic panel, right? How the planet just ruptures. You know, it's just giving an example of why you don't see this in more comics, even though there's plenty of characters that have this kind of power on Earth. I don't understand why a planet exploding would weaken him when he's durable enough to rip out a core of a star, but that's none of my business. It's, you know. They were stated during this big events with Thanos that Drax has a very strong soul, that even in the soul world when you're supposed to be normal evidently, more proof that he's in the Silver Surfer tier, the fact that he beat up a character like Firelord, in raw just strength or punching strength in general, striking power. During these Infinity Gauntlet events, they strike Nebula along with the Hulk and etc., showing that he's an equal contributor. It states here they strike as one. Their combined might could easily render asunder a small planet. But you know, this one Nebula had the Infinity Gem, so it didn't really matter. So yeah, that's why they're punching Nebula this hard. Yeah, Drax has had his fair share of power-ups, for example. The time he had the Infinity Gem, Power Gem, for example. Silver Surfer was amped on this occasion. Silver Surfer ends up annihilating a moon after being deflected by Drax the Destroyer. Yep, respect it. Yeah, his already godlike self literally got gifted with the power gem. Like, did he just eat it? I'm done. One could say part of the reason why classic Drax was this strong the classic days was thanks to this power gem. Even had it in this occasion fighting the Hulk. This is kind of impressive for Hulk to fight somebody that got the power gem. But yeah, it's definitely implication that he's on that level, and the right intent is for him to be in those Hulkish tiers, even though he should technically be above him thanks to the power gem, but for some reason the power gap doesn't seem that substantial, and they end up talking it out and stuff like that. He went toe-to-toe with this being known as Maxim, thanks to Hey Moon Dragon. In a slugfest of strength, dude has to be pretty high on the tiers for him to be able to slug it out with Drax too. More occasion of him being able to endure people with similar strength as him. I mean, this is awesome. He even won an arm wrestle with this guy. Classic Drax fought a group of Asgardians. I'm not exaggerating, get off of me. It was even stated here, Drax can toss Asgardian warriors around all day and it would do a little good. Seems to be able to do damage to Thor. And by the way, this is without the power gem. And this Asgardian feat was out the power gem as well. With the power gem, he gets in a full-blown slugfest with Thor. It's pretty lengthy. Slug trading blows, able to match each other's speed, reacting to one another, and etc. Very long panel. I wasn't playing when I said that. They continue even more. Tries to hold Mjolnir. That doesn't work. Hammer comes to him again. Slugfest even more. Still going on. To further, you see the right intent, all these panels of them fighting. So Drax was meant to be on these guys' level. Keep in mind that he does have the power gem. Oh yeah, by the way, they're just in the front of a star that's about to go supernova, and they're not even worried, seems like. Without the power gem, he shows his strength. Pip the Troll cannot break his vice grip, and characters like Maxim can't even break his grip, even though the guy just literally got in a slugfest with him. Without the gem, he's strong enough to catch King Azrael's punches with his raw power, slugfest, battle feat, to further prove more battles of him fighting powerhouses. When he does have the power gem, the one of him fighting King Azrael, he didn't. For example, here he didn't have the power gem. Knocks out the champion with the bonk to the head with the power gem. With the power gem, poor rocks on the ground. I feel bad for you. Just big old craters. Small baby showing off his power. You're probably thinking he's not Hulk tier. He needed the power gem to fight him. Well, evidently power gem in these fights ain't amping him that much, because even without the power gem, he was able to fight on par with the Hulk. Fights evenly with the Hulk, might I add. Showing these not a fleeting comparison, you see the blows literally are landing, you see the shock waves behind it. The show is not necessarily just a scuffle and he's just dodging for his life, it's really just eating the attacks. Thanks to durability and power, punching him back in a slugfest. Nope, I'm not playing, the fight continues even longer against this super strong being, showing that he's in that level. Hey, cool stuff he can do with the Power Stone, ripping over the vault doors. Of course he can do this. You got more lore right here. It's even contained in the records that Drax, they state here, has Hulk level strength. So yeah, even though he does have a power gem in some of these feats, it doesn't really matter because he's still in that tier of Hulk without power gem. For example, getting punched by Gamora, leaved a huge crater in the wall. Might I add, and Gamora was very strong. But he had the power gem here. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. He still belongs in the Hulk tier without or with the power gem. Don't ask me why that is. I know technically he should be above Thor and Hulk tiers with the power gem. They didn't amp him that much in this occasion, I'm assuming. Hey, I'm not perfect. I don't know why they didn't amp him more when he has a power gem. In battle feats with Silver Surfer, with the power gem, he slams into asteroids like it's no big deal. He's gotten a scuffle with the Thing with the power gem at one point. By the way, he did fight Warriors Madness Thor. During the fight with Warriors Madness Thor with the power gem, the battle got so intense, Thor actually, in this powered up state, was kind of handling everybody. Maxim, the big strong dude I showed you earlier, as well as Gamora's in this situation as well. They all fighting. Warriors Madness Thor is kind of putting in that work. Drax even costs up the power gem in the process. That's how intense it got. Of course, missiles ain't nothing for Drax. That shouldn't even be up for debate. He's gotten in scuffles with Blastar, being that be giving Thor some issues. Same with Adam Warlock. Doesn't have a power gem in this occasion, showing he can hang with another powerhouse tier like Adam Warlock. Got in a battlefield with Havoc and Human Torch, enduring blasts from such being. You can literally see him standing there just chilling. Yeah, Heat doesn't seem to really do nothing. He just enters stars, like, you know, with Silver Surfer, stuff like that. And yes, he has mental resistance. He can break free of mental attacks to an insane degree. One of his many battles fighting Thanos. Like, this looks very crazy. He does the same thing by breaking free of Moondragon's mental influence. You can't just mind control him without him fighting back with willpower. When it comes to his speed, he be chilling with cosmic beings like Silver Surfer and stuff, beings that be flying through the universe, so he's massively faster than light. There is definitely implication of it, like the time he literally flew from Earth to Saturn's moon because of speed, flying with the Silver Surfer. I don't even have to get on Silver Surfer's feet. This guy can galaxy hop. I mean, remember that he confronted Champion in space while Drax was originally on Earth during this occasion in space fighting Champion, see Silver Surfer, and yet Drax shows up. Speed. I miss his days with energy blasts, shoot energy out of his hands, blasting Silver Surfer through wall, harming Thor. His blasts are hard enough to shake the foundation of the moon. When he demolished his asteroid, it was because of blast power. He can punch and blast if he feels like it, having a beam struggle with Captain Marvel, causing like this huge cosmic inferno type explosion thing. Yeah, showing his energy projection is on crack. There was this time he was even beginning to absorb the spectrum in this particular occasion. He can absorb stuff with his energy projection as well. Remember that spectrum, I got a video about her as well, and she is made of light. He can sense people's presence as well. The reason why there's a difference between being classic and unclassic is because he's been killed and resurrected. Like on this occasion, he got resurrected, but with brain damage. The Destroyer fell brain dead at Moondragon's feet. This is where Drax started acting like an idiot and stuff like this. States here when Kronos reanimated him. Like this example, he got pierced in the head, resurrects as a new Drax. Currently, Drax's power physically seems to be a little bit different, but he still has an insane amount of super strength. I would say he still is the physical power of the Guardians of the Galaxy still, you know what I mean? But he just does different stuff, doesn't really fly or use energy projection, and he uses equipment a lot more, you know what I mean? Like doing silly stuff like playing the saxophone with Power Stone, like what in the actual heck? And one time he used Cancer versus Thor Mjolnir against Thanos. It even states here, I may have this wrong, but I heard that nobody on Earth is worthy to actually pick up Thor's hammer, like it's enchanted or something, but I guess his twisted evil version of Thor and his twisted evil version of his enchanted hammer doesn't count. Got that right. Yeah, but no matter what, he still hates Thanos no matter what, like using the Cosmic Cube to take out Thanos. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm on his gear now. Guardians of the Galaxy, he has standard gear like jet boots. Look at the axe. No, I wasn't playing like a literal big axe. He does this to Thanos with a close range antimatter. Charred Guardian of the Galaxy put in work. He uses guns, like on this time using the gun to blast back Thanos. Yeah, get used to the Thanos encounters. Yep, he even has a gun and sword. Freeze, mister. Here's a gun to you. You know, he's dressed up in a tank top, just dressing casual. He has these Subnatic disruptor charges. Look at that big gun he's pointing. Oh yeah, by the way, he uses blades. He uses blades to cut through many monsters at once. Hey, the thing cuts through a hoverboard. In the Annihilation Conquest, he cuts through an Ultron drone. With this axe, he smashes apart a spacecraft, chops through a lot of alien bugs, self-explanatory. He seems to have marksmanship with throwing knives, throws it through an alien bug, cuts up some bugs, slicing and dicing. He's not afraid to stab you through the head if he has to. I mean, even current Drax is still pretty freaking strong. It's just hard to concrete him in any tier. I would say he's at least near the top tier still, maybe medium heavyweight tiers, one could say. For example, he was able to shatter an energy field that contained the Silver Surfer, for example. It was powered by a bit of Galactus energy, so it shows that he's up there to some degree. Hard to really gauge though, because he did this with blunt punches still. Thanks to him being like literal kryptonite for Thanos, that was one time he breaks through Thanos' force field, thanks to his special aura he has against him. As you can see right there, Thanos struggling, he rips through it. Then he does that to Thanos. Something a lot of people can't do. A lot of people think, oh my god, this automatically makes him Skyfather tier because Thanos. No. He's literally kryptonite for Thanos. Strong enough to smash these personal aircrafts. Does this to a resurrected Thanos. Does this to Angela, sends her flying, showing that, yeah, he's still not a weakling in comparison. You know what I mean? It is hard to gauge. Is she sleepy? He can still crater the ground with shockwaves. In his fights, when he knocks beings face first, he can still crater the ground in the process. So he still got super strength to a high degree. This collision example right here for Thanos, like blows back everybody else, clashing with the Mad Titan. Plenty of battle feats with Thanos, slugfesting with Thanos. He's meant to fight him. Drax getting weird bodies, like fighting Cancer vs. Iron Man, for example. Does this to a Cancer vs. Giant Man, fighting powerhouses like Angela, sending her flying in this particular occasion. Does this to Fin Fang Foom, somebody that be fighting Hulk and he's way bigger. I like these giant fights. Slams into beings like that. Slams into Macalloin, something that's bigger than him, still epic. Even punched through somebody's head, brutality. I know this is alternate reality versions of the characters, but the fact he was able to tear apart a Cancer versus Namor is pretty impressive. Wrestles with giant monsters that are way bigger than him, stuff that you have to respect. Somebody that's concrete in the Thor tier is Angela, and he's able to stop her attacks, then her off him no matter what, so it kind of shows what tier he belongs in. Tears apart this magic monster, there's the Thing, my boy, that type of power. Gruesomely tore the teeth out of this monster, ouch. Giant beings stepping on him, withstand it, like all that size different. And of course he can jump really high. Bounded, he was able to break free of it, like psh. There's a time he got in a scuffle with a Venom Groot, like Groot that was possessed by Venom. He was okay from this massive spaceship explosion. More proof of his powers that he'd been blasted by Nova multiple times. Was able to keep fighting to some degree, but he did get he did get sleepy. Putting in work, he be taking attacks from behind, reacting back to it. Big energy explosions like this, he is able to withstand. Looks like to be like some multi-city block sized explosion, but he's okay, not dead though. And he seems to be unharmed by a shock baton. Characters like Cosmo can't like just mind lock him in place because he has mental resistance, even like his classic self. I mean, think about it, his mind isn't a nice place to be. He's been through quite a bit, lifting up big stuff. In this occasion with Angela, she did get the advantage over Drax, but Drax wasn't a flea in comparison. He has no shame in blitzing when it comes to speed, blitzing somebody's head off, dodges a thrown sword, and he literally stopped Iceman in his tracks. He was literally in front of him like, boom, just showing his speed. Just a little small He was able to hit somebody that got the drop on him, like you literally see them behind him, and he was able to be that quick, you know? Oh, by the way, he does actually have skills in fighting, for those that don't know. He used nerve pinches, used his skill to dislocate limbs in different occasions, fighting mobs. Even states here, nerve pinch puts him into agonizing spasm, as you can see here, so it shows his strategic fighting paralysis using kicks and etc. And just straight on bluntly punching folk. It literally states here the lore for Drax back in the classic days. I'm going back in time again right quick, rewarding those that have stayed this long in the video. He is Kronos, father of Eternals of Titan. He is their god. This is the same being that walks of a higher plane of existence, a higher dimensional being, by the way. But Mad Thanos is one of his descendants, and so he has a responsibility he must honor as he has before. It even states here about Drax, the body comes from and is endowed with the strength of the universe. Because of what he must face, he is power personified. Drax the Destroyer. Man, just think about it, man. He was back in the old days, he was just the earther. Now he's a godlike being. Original human form. This is so funny that this used to be Drax. I think it's obvious that Drax in his prime is a Thor tier, Silver Surfer tier level being, Hulkish tier level being, but I do believe he's a little bit weaker currently, but not to a drastic degree that you might think, because he is designed to kill Thanos after all. He got like special aura against him. He's not just strong just because he's got a weakness against Thanos with his aura. He's just literally just strong too in the aspect of just physicals. So that kind of gives you an idea too, but it's kind of letting you know the writer intent of where they want him to be at regardless. Not to mention all those occasions with Thor tiers like Angela, for example. He was giving her some issues, drawing blood from her, stuff like that. He's able to use knives. He has some decent combat speed, even modern times. So now I would still think, even though Marvel has the strength at like lower strength now, like at a 5 now, I still think he has the strength of a star and stuff. To lift a star if he had to, you know, just from the standards of Marvel, star level being nothing in Marvel, things like that. Even until this day, I still do believe he is the muscle of the Guardians of the Galaxy group, regardless of what you might think. It's occasions like this that make it hard to underestimate. But for the most part, everybody, that's just about going to do it. Respect Drax. Did you know he was this strong? You probably did, especially in them classic days. But I would say classic is in the black hole at least level, obviously. Like I always lowball the characters, so I don't want to over-exaggerate characters. He's at least in that Thor, Hulkish, Herculean tier. I would say now probably closer to the medium heavyweight tiers, but like it's not that much of a power decrease like people say. He just doesn't have the energy projection and flight and stuff like that. But when it comes to raw strength, he's still not that far behind his classic self, I would say. But he has taken some L's to some of the heavier hitters like Nova and stuff, so it kind of makes you balance the scales on where he at. You know what I mean? Wouldn't have got killed that easy in his classic days against Nova. It's just little small examples of that, so why I'd say he's a little bit weaker. No energy projection. I'll see you guys later though. How strong do you think he is? You think I underhyped him, overhyped him? Playlist, hit a like on the video if you can, and I'll see you guys later. Respect Drax the Destroyer.